I live a frugal lifestyle, so obviously I eat the same boring food every day. I live a frugal lifestyle, so I must never go out and have fun. I live a sustainable lifestyle, so obviously I lead a life of deprivation and suffering. Those are just a few of the misconceptions that a lot of us have about frugal and sustainable living, which is a real shame. Because living below your means is a superpower that lets you reclaim more control over your life. And it can be especially helpful as prices rise, a recession looms, and our economic future looks uncertain. In this video, I want to share 10 sustainable and frugal tips to help you save money. But they're not the more common and generic tips, like buy groceries in bulk when they're on sale, or to wait 24 hours before purchasing a non-essential item to see how you feel about it later. That's not bad advice, but what I want to talk about today are the tactics that are more like higher leverage points. If you're familiar with Donella Meadows' work on systems thinking, you know just how powerful these leverage points can be. Now don't stop watching this video because I'm delving into bigger concepts. I'll get to those 10 tactics shortly. Just indulge me for a minute and give yourself the gift of understanding this idea. We can actually incorporate these leverage points into how we think about money, which is something my co-authors and I do in our book, Growing Free. We talk a lot about frugality and sustainable living in our book, and it's where I took this image from. When it comes to our money, we want to go from brute force and behavior changes, which have the least impact, to the deep shifts that come about when we shift the mindsets and paradigms in our lives that are much more impactful. Hello and welcome. I'm Laura Oldanie, a green living and money coach who's been living frugally, sustainably, joyfully, and richly for many years. I'm on a mission to help more people design fulfilling, financially resilient, climate resilient, and Trump resilient lives. So if you want more of that, click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video to help me grow this channel. So here are 10 tactics that are more like leverage points that you can work on to reduce your inclination to reach for your wallet or click that buy now button, and maybe even feel less inclined to want things in the first place. Number 1, unleash your creativity and resourcefulness. I often try to start by searching online for DIY options when I need something, which is what I did when I needed QR code stands for vending my book at an event and didn't want to buy those ubiquitous plastic ones. That led to me finding a DIY option I could make with parts that my boyfriend and I already had with his assistance. I did that again with stain remover and found out I could make it quickly and easily with 3 ingredients I already had in the house: hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and dish soap, all that I had rescued from the waste stream. And YouTube and TikTok are full of tutorials teaching us how to repair things so we can fix them and keep them longer instead of having to buy new ones. I understand that these more creative and resourceful options can take more time, so start small. And maybe you can spend a little less time streaming Netflix and scrolling on social media and put that time into making some of the things you need instead of buying them. 2, befriend creative and interesting people. Hanging out with them is free entertainment and fills your life with unique and rich experiences. I'm fortunate to live in an eclectic community filled with creative people. Musicians, painters, authors. It's not uncommon for me to find myself in the midst of an impromptu jam session, walking a labyrinth in someone's yard, or at a spontaneous honeymead tasting. I love how spending time with these people expands my mind and fills my head with new ideas and possibilities. 3, don't be so conventional. The less you care what other people think, the less compelled you'll feel to buy that latest fad item. Be that water bottles, tote bags, or tech gadgets. Often those are things you don't really need in the first place. Plus, this trend of so many people owning the same item makes our lives less diverse and vibrant, not more. And if this YouTube video came up in your feed, you likely recognize that diversity and biodiversity are very good things that we need a lot more of. It's all related. Number 4, go local. Getting involved in your community can save you money in lots of ways. For example, my boyfriend leads a donation-based beach yoga class in our town, and it's been an amazing conduit for us to some very out-of-the-ordinary and special opportunities. Instead of going out to the bar or the movies, consider going to a local city council or other civic meeting instead.
That's what we say. Go
I'm starting to see more and more younger adults at our meetings, and I think it's great. When you attend these events, or even just watch the replay online or read the minutes, you learn about a lot of free events and resources in your community. Number 5, follow your curiosity and be proactive. When you see something that intrigues you, ask questions. People are often delighted to share what they're passionate about with you. And that can lead to some life-changing opportunities that cost little to no money and may even save and earn you money later. Also, make the effort to seek out information. Flip through those local news weeklies. Check out the bulletin boards at your library and the natural grocery store. Listen to community radio. And go to those civic meetings. I'm currently participating in a state-funded program that I learned about in a local newspaper that's paying to install shutters on my home to help protect it against hurricanes. Number 6, connect with others. Instead of isolating yourself, get to know your neighbors and other people in your community so it's easier to borrow and share things with them. There's no reason everyone needs to own a wheelbarrow or Instapot. Other ways to connect with locals to procure things for free include Buy Nothing groups and Simbi.com, which facilitates moneyless exchanges of goods and services between people online and in person. Let's share our abundance instead of directing so much of it into the waste stream. Which leads me to number 7, tap the waste stream. I put waste in quotes because so much of what gets thrown away in our society is absolutely not waste. I'm not suggesting everyone start dumpster diving like I do, but I would love to see more people overcome their pride and vanity and start checking out those useful items that get so often left out by the curb and in the alleys. One of the things my boyfriend and I do is drive around after our twice annual neighborhood yard sale day. There are often people who don't want to take back in what they didn't sell and they leave it out by the street, and these are still perfectly useful items. We've found all kinds of free things this way. Number 8, figure out what makes you feel truly rich. Instead of pursuing society's view of wealth, figure out what a wealthy and meaningful life looks like to you. The clearer you get on that, the less you'll spend on things that don't add meaning and value to your life. Plus, the things that many of us really want, like time with our friends and family, or the ability to pursue our hobbies and interests, don't cost as much as the things society makes us think we need to buy. I imagine people who see me dumpster diving feel sorry for me, but I can't tell you how rich I feel on a Tuesday morning when I'm outside at a dumpster and not in some cubicle beholden to a soul-crushing job. Number 9, be true to your values. I'm not perfect, and I'm not suggesting you should be either. However, keeping the environmental and social justice impacts of your spending front of mind can definitely help curb your spending. Collectively, our actions do make a difference, and it feels better in the long run to live according to your values. And if that's not motivation enough, start becoming cognizant of when your spending habits benefit greedy corporations and billionaires more than they do you and your community, and do what you can to adjust accordingly. And number 10, notice the benefits. Unlike that unfulfilled feeling that quickly permeates your life again after the cheap thrill of an impulse purchase wears off, all of these less common, smarter, and more sustainable leverage points I've shared in this video improve your life in deep and long-lasting ways. Beyond just saving you money, they make you happier, healthier, and more resilient in the face of climate, political, and economic uncertainties. While it can be hard at first to find the time and energy to break free of the lure of the ease and convenience of that buy now button, your true physical and financial well-being await you as you learn to incorporate more of these leverage points into your life. And if you want even more pointers on how to lead a life of frugal hedonism, be sure to watch this video next, because the good life was never about yachts, mansions, and private jets.